Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The News. We are doing something a little bit different today. As you can see, I have a 2.3 liter high performance package Mustang out in the snow. And I know what you're thinking, wow, that's relatively brave of you. And yes, it is a terrifying drive to get out here, but look at the views. It snowed quite a bit here in southern Alberta the last little bit, but we're here for it. We got a great episode today. We're talking about Ford not playing well with others again. We are talking about the Ford performance and manuals, and we're also going to be talking about tariffs and this new tariff brigade that Trump is putting out and what that could mean for the auto industry. So without further ado, let's just get right into this. Starting things off, it looks like Ford is once again not really playing well with others. We recently talked about a wide body Mustang body kit that was made by Street Hunter Design that looked a little bit too much like the $300,000 GTD Mustang that Ford slapped a cease and desist letter on to the owner saying, please don't do this. We've made this a halo car and we want people to pay for that, not for a lesser version of it. Now it looks like vintage Broncos are being body swapped for brand new Broncos. So you buy a brand new Bronco, you take the body off of it, and you put the old body of an old Bronco onto it. And it looks like Ford is not very happy about that. It looks like they've once again filed a cease and desist to a business who does this. They make these beautiful Broncos. Obviously, there's a little bit more that goes into it with some upholstery work, but it looks like Ford is not happy with people messing around with their vibes. So let us know down in the comments what you think about that. Is Ford being a little bit too stingy, or are they rightfully so to go after people who they think are maybe lessening the brand image? Let us know down in the comments what you think about that. Moving on, I know I've talked about this in the past before, but it looks like Ford is doubling down yet again on their claim to making V8s until they're basically illegal. And with that, they've recently said that they're going to have that same mantra when it comes to V8 manuals. The manual transmission is going to be around for quite some time through Ford. As of right now, Ford is one of the only vehicles left with the Mustang and the Bronco that you can buy a manual transmission from new. Even BMW's M division has stopped using manual transmissions, and realistically, there's not really a whole lot left that make them. There is a possibility, however, some of the import companies such as Toyota and Honda have thought about putting a manual transmission in an EV. Now, obviously, that doesn't necessarily make sense because an EV doesn't have any gears, but these days you can program a computer to do pretty much anything you want. So why couldn't you program a vehicle to react the same way shifting gears works when you're shifting gears? I know already that the Hyundai Ioniq 6N, I believe it is, has paddle shifters in it, and it is an electric vehicle. And it also floods the cabin with fake engine noise because obviously we can't really let go of that quite yet. So let us know down in the comments what you think about that. Is there any other vehicles that you'd like to see manual transmissions come out with? Would you like to see the Ranger with a manual transmission? I think that would be a fantastic vehicle. Would you like to see an F-150 with a manual transmission? Obviously that's not going to happen, but if they claim that they're going to be making these until you can't anymore, that's good news for enthusiasts. And last but not least, and you'll have to forgive me because I'm not incredibly well versed with this topic, but Trump decided to slap a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico if certain things don't come to pass. Now, obviously, that is when he becomes president in the new year, but that doesn't necessarily make sense. We live in a world of globalization and everybody has to get along. And if you have to really do the math on it, a lot of Americans auto manufacturers build their vehicles outside of the United States. Canada, for instance, was the home of the Ford GT. The third generation Ford GT was built in Ontario. So by the time all of the parts are put into vehicles and delivered to customers, those parts cross the border probably 7 or 8 times. Realistically, if you put a tariff on parts being moved, on vehicles being moved, nobody is going to win. I think it's more of a threat than anything else, but I'm not really one to get into politics. So I'd like to hear what you think about this. Do you think that this is going to benefit the United States? Do you think it's going to benefit Canada in a more of a negotiation standpoint? Because let's be honest, the #1 export from Canada to the United States is energy. And if they want to slap a tariff on us, well, unfortunately, we're in a good spot to be able to do it to them. Do you know what the second biggest import to the United States is? It's vehicles. So let us know down in the comments what you think. Enlighten me, please. If you know more about these tariffs, please say down in the comments below what you think is going to happen and what the realistic look of buying a vehicle after these tariffs come into place. I would love to know. So please let me know. Please let everybody else know, because I'm sure people have questions. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you next week.